Rather than just using a model of Earth, I have decided to use a Nerf ball in order to demonstrate Earth with two hemispheres, both east and west, and how they work in accordance to the sun with time. Here I have marked 2 points on the ball, both in the same hemisphere. I am using a light as a makeshift sun, and as you can see, both points are illuminated by the sun simultaneously. As you can see, if the sun is in this position related to the planet, one of these points falls into darkness while the other remains illuminated. Around on the other side, in the other hemisphere, I have placed a third point, and if the planet is facing this way, it is illuminated. In this configuration, 2 points on 2 different hemispheres are both illuminated, while the other point on the red hemisphere is left in darkness on the other side of the planet. As the planet rotates, different points around the planet go from light to darkness, which is on Earth day and nighttime. This half-illuminated area is receiving light at an angle that we know as sunrise on one side and sunset on the other. It is dimmer here because the light is not directly shining on the surface. I have now added 24 approximate time zone dividers. Each time zone determines which time of day it is in each area, all in 1 hour increments. Here, the dots are placed 5 hours apart. If it is 10 a.m. in the left dot, it is 3 p.m. in the right dot. These differences in time represent the differences in daylight hours that each zone receives, as the sun will set 5 hours earlier in the right dot zone. As the planet rotates relative to the sun, we are given this new view in which the right dot has vanished into the darkness of the night. If the rotation were to continue, the left dot too would end up in the shadow of the planet, which we know as night. This is Flat Earth, a representation of a theoretical model in which the Earth is a circular plane rather than a sphere in space. Among the numerous problems with the model that keep being covered up with lackluster experiments is the problem of time. A flat Earth model will not receive daylight the same way a round Earth would. As the sun is ready to rise over the great bordering ice wall that prevents us from falling off, guarded by NASA scientists, the flat earthers live in unified darkness. Everyone everywhere is experiencing the same time of night, as the sun does not discriminate here. As the sun begins to rise, 2 problems are detected. First of all, my thumb takes the role that any tall object would and casts a shadow across the entire face of the planet. Secondly, my 2 points from before both experience the same sunrise time despite being 5 hours apart in time zones. What's up with that? In fact, all places on Flat Earth receive the light simultaneously. There is a uniform sunrise and sunset all over the planet. All time is exactly the same. There is no relativity depending on where you are. And the argument for being 5 hours apart is completely appropriate. The government invented time zones as a scheme to hide the fact that the Earth is flat. Makes perfect sense to me and anyone else that agrees with my unbiased opinion. But let's stop for only a moment. There we go. This is Earth. Earth rotates in space, allowing for relative positioning with points on the surface and the sun to be constantly changing. They rotate around the core of the planet at approximately a 25-degree angle tilt that gives us seasons and days and a logical model for how we understand our planet. And sadly, no, Velociraptor Earth would not project the correct shadows to be plausible.